it's been 80 days since I officially qualified for Ironman 70.3 World Championship, and in that, the work doesn't stop. Now you have another carrot in front of you and you're chasing after different goals, bigger goals, unknown goals, because you're racing in a land that is completely foreign to you. But there is something that is to be said about consistency, and that is huge in the sport of triathlon. So definitely tried to keep the consistency and just get up every day and do what's on the plan so that I can be best prepared for race day.
Since Chattanooga, I have done 47,539 yards of swimming, which equates to about 27 miles. And that took me 16.6 hours.
46,000 yards with a time of 13 hours, 25 minutes.
43,250 yards in that 80-day span for a total time of 12 hours and 1 minute.
Honestly, I feel like my swimming has fallen off a little bit. It's true when they say keeping the feel for the water, and I think I'm losing that a little bit.
I was willing to give up a little bit in the water to make the gains on the bike and run. I will say that at this point in the training, I do feel like I've lost some feel for the water. Recent swims, I've kind of felt like my body is sinking a little bit, that my arms don't feel like they really want to go. I'm okay with that because I know that I can remedy that just by getting back in the pool the final week before we go to Finland. If I swim every day, I know that I'm gonna be fine. I'm not sweating it, I'm not worried about it. I don't think it's gonna cost me very much in the big picture, and if there are gains that can be made on the other side of the table, on the bike and on the run, then I'm willing to give up just a little bit in the swim.
My swim times are not impressive, and I don't expect an impressive time at Worlds, but I do think I'm really going to enjoy that swim a lot. It's gonna be this crystal clear lake, it's the World Championship, and I'm not a good swimmer, but I'm really looking forward to the swim.
For the bike, I've put in 46 hours and 23 minutes of training, and you look at that and that's a week's worth of work.
I've ridden my bike for 38.05 hours since qualifying for Worlds.
Total time on the bike, 49 hours, 50 minutes.
You never know what race day is going to bring, but I know that I've done everything I can to be prepared.
Something that I've learned actually this summer, I can let it rip more on the bike. And I know that my legs are still gonna be there on the run. I've always raced kind of on the conservative side, and it's always been an effort to save some energy for the run. But what I've found this season is, I don't want to go all out on the bike, but I can go. And when it's time to come out of T2 and start the run, I know that my legs are still going to be there.
Feeling pretty good with the bike. I always feel like that's my strongest discipline to begin with. So I've felt like, things are biking along just as smoothly as they can, still feeling strong on the bike. Yes, I have had to split time on 2 different bikes. Hopefully my bike is making its way safely to Finland right now, but with that I've had to put together my old bike, put some time on that. But the perceived effort, the amount of sweat, the heart rate is all just as high and strong and much as we were doing on our previous bike. So I know that we are still getting in solid bike rides, even though we don't have the bikes that we really truly love and use most of the time.
As to running, I have run for 32.33 hours, and that is 363.69 miles. A lot of sweat.
The run, I have done 223 miles for a total of 35 hours and 42 minutes.
Woo! I've run a total of 168 miles for 31 hours and 1 minute total in that time span since Chattanooga.
I'm feeling good about the run, but I also have a love-hate relationship with that discipline and just running in general. Of the 3 disciplines, I enjoy swimming and biking more than I do running, but if I look at the age group rankings after basically every single race, the run is where I'm performing the best compared to the rest of the field. So It's not my favorite discipline, but I will say that it's the one that I have the most confidence in.
You know, running continues to be a bit of a struggle. It's the last thing that seems to want to come back for me. And I knew going in that that was going to be my weakness that I needed to address from Chattanooga up until Finland. And I had conversations with Coach specifically, like, what can we do to make me better, to make me stronger on the run? And the idea was doing a lot of VO2 max interval work and then just building on that week after week. So the intervals got longer, and I do feel like I got stronger. It's the summer in Austin, Texas, one of the hottest summers on record. We've had 50-something, 100-plus degree days, and now while we're not running during those 100-degree temperatures, it still doesn't get cooled off in the mornings where it's very comfortable. So we're often running in 80 degrees, 80 to 90% humidity. And I also say that if there is an unprecedented heat wave in Lahti during race week, there's a couple of Team Saunders members here in Texas that are going to be very well prepared for race day.
Right now, I'm feeling it in my legs. Definitely feeling the fatigue, a little bit of niggles, but ultimately, I feel like the fitness is spot on. I don't know that it could be any better at this point. I think the only reason I'm feeling the fatigue is because we have gone so long. This season has already been so long. Yes, after each race we take a little bit of downtime, but really ultimately we haven't really stopped training. So I think that's all kind of building up, but once get a little taper in me, I'm gonna be primed and ready to go.
I think the biggest challenge for me at this point in training, regardless of whether it's a world championship race or a regular race on the schedule, when I get within 2 or 3 weeks of the race, I have to fight off being complacent. I have to remind myself that I still need to do these workouts. I'll also say that this is the point of the training block where I tend to have a lot of cravings. Like, I want to eat all the bad things, and I know that that is waiting after the race. And we will enjoy a lot of indulgences once we cross that finish line, but somehow in the back of my mind, I tell myself, well, I've gotten this far, I can enjoy it now. But what I really want to do is stay focused and keep that consistency, do the training that I need to do, and then when we do cross that finish line, that'll be time for celebration, and trust me, there will be a lot of celebrating.
For me, the biggest challenge that I have is when I get to the last couple of weeks before a race, I always get anxious and worry about the things that I can't really control, or think about something bad that might happen. I need to try to control the things that I can control, and on some level, there's some degree of chance here, and there are things I can't control. And should something bad happen, I will figure out and try to respond to that then. It's a waste of mental energy for me now to try to come up with a list of things that might go wrong. Whenever I've done that, I've never actually been correct about what it is. So I'm trying to be mindful, enjoy this process, and not let it stress me out as much as I can.
I think the biggest challenge right now is that I'm tired. And, you know, looking at these numbers, I think I have the right to be tired. I think I would be a machine if I wasn't tired, and we're not machines. You know, we are human. We do have to rest sometimes, and we have to listen to our bodies. But I do know that that finish line is so close, and I'm gonna keep on with the workouts and continue following the plan and trusting the plan and trusting the coach, because I know ultimately it's gonna lead me to a great race day.